I've gotten a few crazy ass DMs recently talking about how ignorant I am about the risks of egg donation as an egg donor. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not doing a good enough job talking about the risks. I think at the end of the day, I know the risk and I can justify it because that's how much I wanted to help families. That is the honest truth to me. When I went through the loss of my cat, something inside of me truly drew me to this cause, and it felt like this was the most important thing to me, even if it did mean jeopardizing my health, even if it did mean jeopardizing my fertility. The thing is, though, you have to make these decisions for yourself. If you think that why I did it or someone else's reasoning is going to do it for you, no, you have to make your decisions at the end of the day. The reality is there is no science, there is no evidence, there is no data that it does impact your health or your fertility. But that is a reoccurring misinformation that's everywhere. I mean, I thought it too. Even close friends of mine, I've tried to break it down to them and they still like can't wrap it around their head because there's just so much of like a weird stigma around that. There is no evidence to suggest that at all. But there are real risks. And I think because I don't talk about it, you guys think that I just don't know, and every single egg donor to have ever existed just has no idea and is frolicking around without any idea of the risk. The thing is, we go through so much vetting and go through so many phases to get to the actual donation, and we are actually educated and informed by doctors. There's actual like little modules you have to go through and answer questions and like take tests on the risks. And it gives you all the stats, all the data, all the science. I actually remember the stats off the top of my head. That's how many fucking times I had to do those little tests to make sure I understood the long-term implications. You also, let me just break it down to you. Okay, so first you apply to an agency. Even then in the application, I would say 95% of people get declined. Why? Health issues, fertility issues, age, whatever. So many different reasons you're declined. Let's say you make it through. Great, you meet with the agency. The agency goes through 30 minutes to an hour of questions that, do you understand the implications of this? Do you understand your child could reach out to you? Do you understand that even if you wanted to be anonymous, your child could still reach out to you? Do you understand 23andMe and that your child could reach out to you? Do you understand that in, what are the stats? Hold on. 1 in every 200 donors experiences ovarian torsion. Do you understand ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome? Do you understand the risk of that? Do you understand how common that is? So many different things. Then from there, they send you off to get actual testing to make sure that you are even in a good space fertility-wise. Guess what? Even though they could have you donate numerous times, they will decline you if your fertility levels are like on the fence. So like they will not jeopardize your own fertility. That's another thing like I don't think people realize, like it's not of their best interest to like take a gamble like that. Because you know that you can go in and just like not get any eggs. And that would make everyone lose a lot of time, effort, energy, emotions, money. So they will decline you if your fertility levels are showing that you should not be fucking donating. Okay, then from there, you go to a doctor's appointment at the clinic and you get evaluated. Pap smear, physical, so much more questioning if you understand the implications of the risks. Again, the primary risk being it's called OHSS. That's gonna be easier for me to say it. Ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. If you understand that, you understand the risks of that. Then ovarian torsion, if you understand the risk of that and how they deal with that and everything to do with that. Going very into depth, everything about the medications, how to do the medications. Are you comfortable with medications? Are you understanding and comfortable that this child might reach out to you? All the same stuff is being over and over and over again presented different ways to make. I missed 2 steps. You also have in between that a psychological evaluation, and that's very in depth, and that goes into all of your traumas. To make sure, like, number one, you don't have like a mental health issue, but also make sure, are you a good candidate? Because what if you struggle immensely with depression and like suicidal thoughts or whatever, and then you're on this medication that makes you very emotional and very hormonal? They would not let you go through with this process. And you have to disclose what medications you're on. They test you for those medications. So like, even if you try to lie and say like, I'm not on that, that's probably gonna show up. Yeah. Okay, then after that first initial appointment, you still have to wait many, many months, and then comes back genetic testing saying what you're a carrier for. And then that's actually kind of cool because you get that like information for free, and it tells you, all about what you're a carrier for, which is good to know for your own future. If you want to have kids, that actually saves you money. So that's actually pretty cool. Okay, what else? So then from there, you go through legal, but that takes that's very far from the date of that initial appointment. Okay, so then you go through legal. Legal will take anywhere from like 2 weeks to a month to close out. You again are walked through with a lawyer that is your lawyer that is paid for by the family but is not attached and is not representing the family. It's a totally separate lawyer altogether, and you could tell them anything and everything and they're gonna keep it confidential. That lawyer informs you of everything in that contract and will sit there with you for however many hours you need to understand the long-term implications of that contract, what it means for you, what it means for your future, how you get the compensation, when you get the compensation, every little detail. That's another video because that is actually really interesting, but I'm trying to focus on the risks and the everything. Okay, then and only then, once that's solidified, you can actually move forward with the process. That whole time period is about 5 to 6 months. Then on top of that, usually when you're going into a cycle, every step of the way during that cycle, at every appointment, they will talk to you about all the risks again, constantly talking about risks, constantly running labs, tests, all sorts of things. Oh my god, I literally just washed my face for all 8 minutes of that video. That's kind of fucking hilarious. So let's get into the serious stats. Severe OHSS, because you could have like a light OHSS. Everyone throws around OHSS. People say I've had it on my videos. I've never, ever, ever had that. It is about 1%, but they actually think the numbers are lower because they've started using a different medication that apparently lowers it. It's like a different trigger medication. I personally know someone that's had OHSS bad and like still at the end of the day, they were able to recover in a few days. But it can be bad. If you want to do this, you look into it. That is your risk to take. It is not mine to assess. That is on you. That's something else. It's like people sending me these articles. I've made the decision for myself of what I want to do. You make the decision of what you want to do. Then next is ovarian torsion. Ovarian torsion, oh, I didn't show you my moisturizer. Pelvic infection and internal bleeding. It's all lumped together for the study. So it's all three of those, which is interesting. For all three of those risks, it's less than 0.5%. So that's 1 in 200. Now, the interesting thing about ovarian torsion is if it twists, they can actually untwist it and the ovary will be fine most of the time. Again, you have to make the best decision for you. Let's follow the facts here.